I gotta make it clear that I'm clothed. That I'm clothed. All right. Happy Saturday night, everyone. For those of you watching the replay, because no one's in the chat yet, I just started the stream. I have had a day, but I hope that you all had lovely days, lovely Saturdays. Man, I wanted to start off by talking about Fatman Scoop, yo. Rest in peace to Fatman Scoop. I was a fan, naturally. As a New Yorker, you're not stepping into any party after the year of 1999 that does not play the song Love Like This, Faith Evans and Fatman Scoop. Well, the Fatman Scoop remix, right? Man, that song is such a staple for us. It's such a staple for us. So that's top 10, one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time. I know that's weird, but the song makes me happy. That it is what it is. And of course, he's known to be a hype man, super. Oh, hi, Carolyn. Greetings. Yeah, he's known to be a hype man. And I used to watch his channel back in the day. He and his wife. When I say back in the day, I mean when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, or maybe I was like 20. He and his wife had a channel and they would talk about married stuff. And then his wife had her own channel and she would talk about grown people stuff. And yeah, I was a fan. And I heard how he passed today. And then I saw the video and I was like, oh my goodness, did he have a heart attack on stage? Man, I know he was pronounced dead at the hospital, but I wonder if did he really die in that moment, because his last words was like, I forgot what it was, but it was like, make some noise, and then he just collapsed. But honestly, that's man, I don't even. Rest in peace, Fatman Scoop. I just want to say that, especially as a New Yorker, being from Brooklyn, I had to shout out Fatman Scoop. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Your music lives on. Every party. All right. Okay. So I did want to go over some of my recent posts. Oh Lord. Did you guys see the post that I made today? I did not expect. I'm talking about the post on Instagram, by the way. I made a post on Instagram today, and I did not expect the amount of discourse. Hi, Terry. How are you? Welcome. I didn't expect the amount of discourse that I received in my comments. But if you didn't see that video, I definitely recommend you check it out on my shorts here on YouTube, or check it out on my TikTok or on my Instagram, regardless. All the conversation is really on my Instagram one. That's the one I got 100,000 views in less than, I want to say this has been like 10 hours. It's got 100,000 views. But basically, the video, granted, I found out that it is scripted. It's from a scripted series, but it's a very realistic situation. It's a very real life situation. So I'm going to tell you what happens. So basically, it's like a marriage counseling session, and the wife is speaking, and she's saying that her husband knows that his mother does not like her and wants to break them up. And he acts oblivious to the fact that he doesn't want them to be together. So apparently, long story short, I'm not going to get into all the details. Definitely watch the video. It's a 1 minute long video. Long story short, the wife ends up attacking the mother-in-law, right? And there's a whole lot of discourse going on, and it's like a little overwhelming, but I'm at the point where I'm not going to read any more comments. But I think that the most common consensus is that the husband should have nipped it in the bud. He shouldn't be acting oblivious to the fact that his mom and his wife aren't seeing eye to eye. And as the husband, and the one in the middle, essentially, it's just your job, right? It's kind of your job to get your mom a check and your wife in check as well. But you're also, as a husband, whether you're Christian or not, like if you want a successful marriage that's last, you have to choose your wife. You gotta choose your wife. And I think that's everybody knows that, right? I hope everybody knows that. If you didn't know that, now you know. So another recent post that I wanted to discuss was is my post on protective styles. So now we're back to lock talk, okay? We're back to lock talk, and after this, you can ask any lock questions you may have, if you do have any at all. So I uploaded a video today on protective styles and my opinions on protective styles. But before I get into that, I do want to remind you all that it is Labor Day weekend. So of course, Love, Light, and Locks has offers for you. So the first offer is if you spend $25, you get $100 worth of coupons and savings sent to you with your next order. The second offer, the second special, is that you can get 35% off all orders $100 or more. Labor Day weekend long, okay? KeishaCharmaine.com, link in description. Okay, so protective styles. So for those of you who are not familiar, or if you haven't seen that video, I do recommend watching the video, but I will summarize really quickly. Protective styles are styles that we put our hair in to protect them from over manipulation, because what over manipulation can cause is excess shedding, breakage, damage to the follicles, which can lead to traction alopecia, which is essentially hair loss due to manipulation, right? So we want to reduce that. So we put them in protective styles so that we can leave our hair alone, right? Another reason why we put our hair in protective styles is to protect our hair from environmental conditions such as rain and humidity and excess heat and cold. Akelia says, "Hey Keisha, I'm visually impaired and it's kind of hard for me to shop on your website. Are there any other options for shopping?" You know what? Are you able to send me an email? I want to be able to contact you after this because that's something that I need to speak to my consultant about, and maybe we can come up with an option for you, because I do not know. I don't know, and off the top of my head, how to maneuver. So I'll write your name down. But if you can, let me know your email address, please. Let me write your name down so I don't forget. Akelia. I think it's Akelia. Oops. I hate when spell check decides when they want to help. Okay. Yes, please send me an email and I'll come up with options, because that's been definitely nothing that I've considered before. But thank you for bringing that to my attention. But yes, as far as protective styles go, again, so I already mentioned protection from over manipulation and protection from environmental factors, right? So when it comes to protective styles, people like to consider extensions like box braids or faux locks, or like putting extra hair over our hair, whether you have locks or not, in any form, as protective style. And I'm here to argue that that is not protective style. That's not protective. It's not protective, because what you're doing, while those styles may help you to retain length because they are covering the length of your hair, so that your ends, if the hair is properly applied or installed, then your ends will be protected. However, you're adding hair to your hair, which is adding weight that is unnatural to your follicles. So you're adding weight to your follicles. That's not protective. You're stressing out your follicles, especially if this is something that you do on a very regular basis. You're adding weight to your hair. Is not protective. That's my stance. A lot of people will disagree and still consider it protective. Hey, it's protective to the ends, but it's not protective to your roots. And that's my opinion. Okay. And again, that goes for anybody, whether you have loose hair or locked hair. It's not protected, in my opinion. Okay. Another hot take that I had was that a lot of people consider locks to be a protective style on its own. And while I do understand that train of thought, I don't consider them to be a protective style on its own. However, you can wear your locks in protective styles. As you see, I do have my locks right now in the braids. They're still in the braids from the pinwheels that I had, and you see I still have a little bit of a curl at the very end. But this is a protective style, and this is considered a protective style because due to it being braided, it's already styled. I don't have to do anything to it. I don't have to do anything to it. My roots are protected as I do have fine hair. Since I have fine strands, my roots do need to be retwisted and stay structured to prevent it from breaking, from excess breakage. So I don't want to get too far off track, but you may or may not know that it's advised if you have thicker strands or coarse strands, it's advised that you retwist less often. You can take breaks between your retwists. However, if you do have fine strands or thin strands, it is advised that you retwist more often to keep structure at your roots to prevent breakage so that your delicate hairs are not vulnerable. Okay, so back to subject. Yes, this is a protective style for me, and I'll probably keep it in for another week. Maybe, we'll see. Stay tuned. But locks in itself, though, just having locks necessarily is not protective to me, and the reason being is that our locks are still vulnerable to damage. They're still very vulnerable to damage, especially our roots. Our roots, again, especially if you have fine hair. If you have fine hair and you aren't doing what's appropriate for fine hair to thrive, then I do believe that it's not protective inherently. The ends, just like when it comes to the extensions, like the box braids and the faux locks, your ends are protected, but to me, it's not a protective style if the entirety is not protected. So our ends and just having locks, our ends are technically protected because they are locked. They're locked. Like, we don't have to deal with our ends breaking off in the same manner at which people with loose natural hair have to deal with shedding and breakage. So in that way, I do get the train of thought that locks are a protective style on their own. However, where was I going with that? However, that's not the case for our roots. Our roots are still vulnerable. So that's important to note. Like, when it comes to protective styles, which are braids and twists, we are braiding from root to tip. And the braids do protect our roots and keep our roots secured and tucked away, which is protective. But whether they're just out, especially if you have freeform locks, they're out and vulnerable. So that's not protective. So it's protective styles are only necessary to do every so often. Consider the environment that you're in, consider your climate, consider the weather patterns going on, consider what you have to do, your activity levels, your lifestyle, and that's what will determine if it's necessary for you to do protective styles. Like, for instance, me, I like to do protective styles in the summertime because I just don't want to be bothered with my hair in the summertime. I be hot in the summer. I don't want to be bothered. When my hair is out, it's just so much hotter. It's just so much hotter on me. Hi, LaRoby. Thanks for dropping in. So yes, I like to keep my hair in braids and twists throughout the summer. And I've been true to that. Well, at least for July and August. July, I had my locks in rope twists, and they were about 3 to 4 locks per twist, and that's how I had my hair pretty much all of July. And then I think I might have had a break in there a little bit. I think I had a break at some point, and then I got my braids. Then I got my braids in August, and I think it's been 2 weeks with the braids. So I think I might have had a 2-week break. What did I do with my hair in that 2 weeks? I probably wore my twist out. That's what happened. I wore my twist out. All right. So if anyone here has any questions, this is a great time to ask. I know that it is Saturday night. It's not a lot of us in tonight, but that's all right. If if no one has any questions, I'm going to sign out. But I do want to remind you all that it is Labor Day weekend. We do have special offers for you. Offer number one is if you spend $25 or more, you get a $100 coupon bundle in the mail with your order, which is great. You don't have to wait for a Love, Light, and Locks sale. You can just use your coupons whenever you're ready. And our second offer is 35% off your entire orders of $100 or more. Labor Day weekend. All right. Okay, so if there's no more questions, or no questions at all, actually, or no more. There were questions earlier. So everybody, I want you all to stay safe, be well, and what am I supposed to say as an influencer? I'm supposed to say subscribe, thumbs the video up, share it, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I think that's about it, right? Oh, join my mailing list and join my text hub, okay? I'll have my link tree in the description, so definitely check out all my links. Sign up for my mailing list so you don't miss any updates, especially if you join my text hub. You get access to exclusive deals that everyone doesn't have access to. You get to text me personally, text me back and forth. If you have any questions, you can literally text me and I'll text you back. You also get, what else do you get? Oh, you get access to our exclusive Zoom chats. So while these are cool, going live on YouTube, going live on Instagram is really cool. The best part about being in the text hub is that you get to go live with me privately on Zoom. So nobody else is going to be there to see it. There's no riffraff. There's no trolls. And if you do have any questions about your hair, I can actually see your hair if you turn your camera on, and we can troubleshoot. So that's a perk of joining the text hub. And I'll put my number in the chat. All you have to do is text me to join it. So it's 917-810-3423. And that is it, everybody. Have a great weekend.